Let's make a sprite. Let's bring this window up and we drag 3 objects in. We're going to drag in green triangle. Make that a little bit smaller. I guess about like that would be good. Bring in a red circle. We're going to bring out our yellow. Alright. Now, let's think about something here before we get started. All of these have no background, right? Okay, because they're completely transparent. And then VSDC brings any object into the program. It puts it in a container, and that container has a background to it. So down here in the properties window, this I have my transparent oval selected. So if I come down here to where it says background color, even though my yellow oval is transparent, it has no background there, I can fill the background if I choose to. So I come down here and click yes, and the color that I have down there is black, so it has a black background there. I'm gonna change that back to no, because that's not what I want to show you in this video, but I need to explain that to you because you're gonna need to know it later. All of your objects in VSDC have a background. Even though they may be transparent, they have a background that you can turn off. Down here with fill background. Let's go ahead and make this a sprite. You can either go up here to the top and select all, and on edit, under the edit tab, you can select all to select them, and then right click and convert it to a sprite, or you can left click on on the side right there and drag over it. As long as they're consecutive, 3 things consecutive, or 4 or 5, or however many you want to do, then right click on it, come up here and convert it to sprite, or you can select them one by one by clicking on it, clicking on each one while you hold the control key and do it, or you can do it up there in the scene area. So anyway, I haven't selected, so now all I gotta do is right click on it and convert it to a sprite. So now it's converted to a sprite. Alright, so before we go any further then, now let's come over here to the properties window. Okay, over here in the properties window, when we come down to sprite object settings right there, alright, right underneath of it, it says user's container. That's the default setting for your sprite, to use it as a container. So all that's doing is putting objects inside of one thing. In other words, it's saving space on your timeline. That's what it does. I have 3 objects that would normally be just in the timeline. It would look, if I double click on my sprite, this is the way it would look in my timeline if it wasn't inside of the sprite. But since I made a sprite out of it, all 3 of them inside of one thing. That leaves me plenty of space for other stuff down here. So if I take something else and put it in there to be just like I was doing it normally. If I added this picture or this video and I put it in there, hit add new layer. Okay, let it go in there. If I put it in there for my sprite, it's just like it's on my timeline. And if I change the blend mode inside of one of those objects, it would affect that the video underneath of it, just like as if it was on the regular timeline. It works the same way. In fact, let me just show you that. Let me copy my transparent oval, copy it, come over here to scene, turn my sprite off, and I put my transparent thing up there. See what happens? The same thing that happened over there with the others. So if I turn it off and turn that back on, you see it's the same thing. Turn my sprite, there we go. See, it looks the exact same way. Let me get rid of my transparent overlay. Delete. Okay, let's come back over here and look at sprite properties some more. Let me change my transparent oval back to blend. Okay, so now let's go back here and look at the sprite property some more. Sprite. Okay, so that's when you use it as a container. Now notice underneath for user's container there's a option that says shows effects, and it's grayed out. If you change this user's container to no, what happens is that show effects down there is gonna be available to you if I change it to no. Okay, and you notice that the background changed to black because all of this down here became available to you also, the fill background and the color. So I can change the background color right now. So I can change my background from my sprite to red, yellow, whatever I want. Okay, see, that's the background for my sprite. But now I'm gonna change it back to black for right now, and then I want to show you this other thing about it. Right underneath the user's container, and it says show effects, there's a no there. That no means that if I go and I open my sprite right now, you won't be able to see anything. Why is that? When it says no for the show effects option, that means that when your sprite is open, what I mean when I say open, when you haven't double clicked on it. When you double clicked on it, it's not visible. But if you change it to yes, then you can see yourself. So I'm not sure right now why that's like that, why VSDC does it like that, but that's what's going on. So when you see people doing videos and they say, go over there and go over here to Sprite object settings and say, change that from yes, change the user's container to yes, and then they go down and say, change show effects to no, to yes. That's why they're telling you that, because if you don't, you won't be able to see what you're doing when you open up your sprite. Okay, now if you go back over here to the scene and you come down here to where it says show effects and you change it to no, you're not going to be able to see the change. Even you go over there, you won't be able to see the change. Unless it's, like I said, your sprite is open. You won't be able to see unless your sprite is open. So we understand about the user's container, and we understand about the background. And like I said, every object in VSDC has a background. Everything except your pointer, right there. Everything except your movement object and your pointer, and your audio. If you add audio to it, of course, that doesn't have a background.